Good morning, guys. By the last class, we have completed the discussion of S block elements, that is both alkali metals as well as alkaline earth metals. In this class, we are going to start about the discussion of objective questions. We'll start our discussion with the conceptual question of alkali metals. Here comes our first question. First of all, we are going to discuss about the questions from the alkali metals. After that, we are going to discuss about the alkaline earth metals. The first question of conceptual level of alkali metals is the number of valency electrons in potassium atom are. Try to understand the question. Here we have a question regarding potassium, and what he is asking? He is asking the valency electrons in the potassium are. What is meant by valency electrons? Electrons present in the outermost shell are called as valency electrons. Generally, we know that the general valence electronic configuration of first group is NS1. This is the first group valence electronic configuration. If you are talking about the potassium is atomic number is 19. Its electronic configuration is R4s1. Your fourth shell is the outermost shell. How many electrons are there in the fourth shell? 1 electron. So the number of valence electron in potassium are 1 it is. Would is clear? Now, you see the next question. A chili salt treat is the nitrate mineral of potassium, sodium, calcium, lithium. Actually, it is a mineral. Nitrate mineral is generally called as chili salt treat or Indian salt treat. This particular NaNO3, sodium nitrate. What is this? Sodium nitrate is generally regarded as chili salt treat. Now, so it is a mineral of what it is? It is a mineral of sodium, right? There is one more nitrate which is called as potassium nitrate. This is generally called as Indian saltpeter based on their availability. They are named. This is Indian saltpeter. Whereas sodium nitrate is called as chili saltpeter. Here comes our next question. The least electropositive alkali metal is. The options are, here we have a question regarding the electropositive nature. Sodium, lithium, potassium, cesium. Generally, what is the trend of electropositive nature from lithium to cesium? Generally, alkali metals are strongly electropositive in nature, and down the road what happens? Electropositive nature increases. That means, if you are talking about from lithium to cesium, what happens? Electropositive nature increases. So, what might be the most electropositive element? Cesium is the most electropositive element. This is the most electropositive, whereas lithium is the least electropositive element. If you want to increasing order, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. This is the increasing order of electropositive nature of alkali metals. So from this, what we can conclude? Lithium is the least electropositive alkali metal. Let's see the next question. Metal which emits photoelectrons very easily is. Here given options are aluminium, potassium, cesium and copper. In the entire periodic table, first of all you need to remember that this tendency of electron emitting nature will be directly proportional to the electropositive nature. Greater the electropositive nature, greater will be the tendency to emit the electrons when they are exposed to light. So in the entire periodic table, as we know, alkali metals are strongly electropositive elements or electropositive metals. So when you are moving left to right in the periodic table, generally what happens? Electropositive nature decreases, electronegative nature increases. So elements that are extremely left side of the periodic table are strongly electropositive and which can easily emit the electrons. Among these, there are two elements. These two are from the. So from that, generally, first group elements, that is group 1, are most electropositive. So your answer has to be from the group 1 elements. So among the group 1, generally we know that from lithium to cesium, what happens? Electropositive nature increases. So that means greater the electropositive nature, greater will be the tendency to emit the electrons when they are exposed to the light. Photoelectrons means electrons emitted when a metal is exposed to light will be called as photoelectron. So from this what we can conclude, cesium is the most electropositive element so that it will easily emit the electrons. Answer will be the cesium from the criteria of the electropositive nature. And try to remember that cesium is the most electropositive metal in the entire periodic table because of its low ionization energy. Hope it is clear. Now, here comes our next question. Lithium is stored in. Generally, we know that these alkali metals are highly reactive in nature, and they readily, when they exposed to atmospheric, they readily undergo oxidation, surface oxidation. In order to prevent surface oxidation, generally they need to be stored in something else to prevent their exposure to atmospheric heat. So, because of that reason, generally these alkali metals, except lithium, remaining alkali metals, all alkali metals are stored in kerosene, whereas lithium is stored in paraffin wax. Because lithium can't be stored in kerosene, and because it is lighter, it floats on the surface of the paraffin kerosene. Because of that reason, lithium is generally stored in paraffin wax. You should know what is the purpose of storing them in something like kerosene or paraffin wax, because to prevent the surface oxidation. And lithium cannot be stored in the kerosene like others because being lighter, it floats on the surface so that it will undergo surface oxidation. Hope it is clear. Here comes our next question. The alkali metals which form hydrated chloride salt is. First of all, you need to understand what is meant by hydrated chloride. Generally, this is the general formula of halides of chlorides of alkali metals. If they retain X number of water molecules in the form of hydrate, then they are called as hydrated halides. Lithium has a more tendency to form the hydrated chloride because lithium ion is being smaller. It has greater tendency of nuclear force of attraction, which can withdraw water molecule in the form of hydrate. So down the group, generally what happens? Tendency to form the hydrated chloride decreases as the size of the metal ion increases. So answer will be the lithium. The next question is that, try to understand the question, which of the following is the strongest base? The given options are all lithium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, cesium hydroxide and sodium hydroxide. All the options are from hydroxides of alkali metals. Right? Generally, we know that from lithium hydroxide to cesium hydroxide, basicity increases. What happens? Basicity increases because electropositive nature of the metal increases, so that the basicity increases. So, question is about the strongest base. So, this will be the least basic, and this will be the most basic. So, what we can think? Which of the following will be the strongest base? Cesium will be the strongest base among the hydroxides of alkali metals. Hydroxides of alkali metals. Here we have our next question. The least basic oxide is cesium oxide, potassium oxide, sodium oxide, lithium oxide. Question is about the basicity of oxides. All of them are generally monoxides of alkali metals. These are monoxides of alkali metals. So generally, what is the criteria? From lithium monoxide to cesium monoxide. Cesium monoxide basicity increases. Basicity increases because electropositive nature of the metals increases from lithium to cesium, so that the basicity of the resultant oxide will also increases, and lithium will be the least basic oxide and cesium will be the most basic oxide. So answer will be the lithium oxide is the least basic oxide among the alkali metal oxides. Hope it is clear. And our next question is, sodium hydroxide is not produced in which of the following process? The given processes are Nelson cell method, Downs process, Kastner-Klemner method, Casticizing process. Right? Basically, all these processes except Down process. Down process is actually used for the extraction of sodium, not for sodium hydroxide. And remaining methods, this Nelson method is used for the preparation of sodium hydroxide from aqueous NaCl. Here also, this is also used for the preparation of NaOH from NaCl. Here also, it is used for the preparation of NaOH by using calcium hydroxide. So, apart from this Downs process, this is used for the preparation of sodium, not sodium hydroxide. Remaining all methods are used for the preparation of sodium hydroxide. So, answer will be Downs process. Here comes the next question. The final product in the solver processes. First of all, you should remember what is a solver process. Solver process is one of the commercial and modern important method of preparation of washing soda. What is washing soda? Na2CO3 10H2O is called as washing soda, as it is used for the preparation of sodium carbonate 10 hydrate, decahydrate. So, what will be the product? It is a preparatory method of washing soda. This sodium carbonate is generally regarded as what is washing soda process. This is a commercial process for the preparation of sodium carbonate decahydrate, which is used as a washing soda. Formula of baking soda. What is baking soda? Baking soda is nothing but sodium hydrogen carbonate. What are the options? Sodium hydrogen carbonate, sodium sulfate and sodium chloride. Among this particular sodium hydrogen carbonate is called as baking soda, since it is used in the baking of food materials. Sodium metal is not used in which of the following process? He has given certain processes, Woods reaction or relations, polymerization of isoprene to rubber, Grignard reagent. In all these processes, Woods reaction is nothing but the preparation of alkyl halides from alkanes from alkyl halides. Generally, except this particular process, in remaining three processes, here generally this particular process is used for the preparation of alkanes from the reaction of alkyl chlorides and sodium. And relation test is one of the identification test of various substances, various elements in organic compounds by using sodium extraction. This particular process also involves the usage of sodium, and polymerization of isoprene to rubber will also utilize the sodium. And the only process where sodium is not involved is Grignard reagent. Grignard reagent is nothing but alkyl magnesium halide. This particular reagent is called as Grignard reagent is called as. So generally it is prepared from the reaction of alkyl halide with magnesium in presence of ether, it is dry ether. It forms a corresponding Grignard reagent. This is one of the very important reagent which is used to prepare almost all the organic compounds. So sodium is not utilized in Grignard reagent. Now, this makes the completion of the questions from the conceptual of alkali metals. Now we will move to the level 1 question. The outer electronic configuration of radioactive atom present in first group. Try to understand the question. He is asking the outer electronic configuration of the radioactive element of the first group. Generally, among the first group, which is radioactive element, francium is the radioactive element in the first group. Among the lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, the last element, that is francium, is a radioactive element, and he is asking its valence electronic configuration. What is the valence electron configuration of, if you are at complete electronic configuration, it is radon 7s1s. 7s1s. So what will be the outermost electronic configuration of the francium? From the given information, you need to understand he is talking about the francium, and the valence electronic configuration of francium is 7s2. Next question is that the alkali metal having lowest densities. See, what are the options given? He is asking to identify the alkali metal with the least density: sodium, rubidium, potassium, and cesium. Generally, we know that down the group what happens? Density increases. but there is an exception in the first rule. As I said, getting a question from the exceptional cases will be most. There is a more probability of getting a question from the exceptional cases. This is also similar sort of question. If you are talking about the increasing order of the density of alkali metals, the density follows this order. So generally, here down the group density should be increased. But what is the exception here? In between this potassium and sodium, we have an exception. Potassium is generally expected to be heavier than the sodium, but it is found to be lighter than the sodium, because generally what happens when you are moving down the group, both atomic volume as well as atomic mass increases. But in case of potassium, increase in the atomic value will be more when you compare with the increase in atomic mass. Because of that reason, the density of the potassium will be lesser than the density of the sodium. So among the given options, which is having the least density from this order, we can say potassium is having the least density. Generally, if you don't know this exception, you will go with the sodium. So because of that reason, we need to understand the exceptions with the proper logic. Hope it is clear. The metal used in solar cells is, generally solar cells are nothing but in the solar cell we will try to generate electricity by photoelectrical phenomena. In the photoelectric phenomenon, what happens? When light is exposed to the surface of the metal, it emits the electrons. So from this, what are the element which is used in the solar panel that should be most electropositive in nature, that should easily emit the electrons? Which will emit electrons easily? The most electropositive one. So among the given option, which is the most electropositive? As I already said, cesium is the most electropositive element in the entire periodic table, so that it has to be widely used in the solar panels because of its most electropositive nature. Cesium is widely used in solar cells or solar panels. Here comes our next question. The paramagnetic particle is, what is meant by paramagnetic particles? The particles which are weakly attracted towards the external magnetic field are called as paramagnetic. Based on the behavior of substances towards magnetic field, we classify them into several types, such as diamagnetic. Diamagnetic means which are repelled by the magnetic field. Paramagnetic means which are attracted by the magnetic field, and ferromagnetic means which are strongly attracted by the magnetic field. And what makes a substance to be attracted or repelled by the magnetic field? Presence of unpaired electrons. Generally, the substances are having unpaired electrons or attracted towards the magnetic field, and they are considered as paramagnetic in nature. And if they are not having any unpaired electrons, if all the electrons are paired, then it will be considered as diamagnetic substances. For that, you need to identify which of the following is having unpaired electrons. If you are talking about the magnesium, magnesium's valence electronic configuration will be 3s2. Is there any unpaired electron here? No. So it will be diamagnetic in nature. And what would Mg+2 will be? So its electronic configuration will be, generally we write it as neon 3s2. But when it loses 3 electrons, it becomes neon 3s0 it will be. What is the electronic configuration of neon 2s2? 2p6. Here also 0 unpaired electrons, diamagnetic in nature. And Na+, if you see, generally sodium valence electronic configuration will be 3s2. When it loses 1 electron, it will become 3s0. Here also more unpaired electrons will also be diamagnetic. When talking about this sodium atom, it is having 1 unpaired electron. This is you having unpaired electrons. Because of the presence of this unpaired electron, it will be paramagnetic. If it is clear, what is the criteria for a substance to be paramagnetic? It requires unpaired electrons. So answer will be sodium is the answer. What is clear? Now, the hydration energy is higher for. What is meant by hydration energy? Energy released when an ion undergo hydration. What is meant by hydration? If you are dissolving any ionic substances in water, this particular ions will be surrounded by water molecules. This process will be called as hydration. And the energy released during this process will be called as hydration energy. And hydration energy will be inversely proportional to the size of the metal atom. Smaller the ion, more water molecule will surround, greater will be the hydration energy. With increase the size of the ion, hydration energy decreases. So, among the first one, which is the smallest atom. We know that from top to bottom, inner group generally what happens? Size increases. So with increase in the size, what happens? Extent of hydration decreases. With increase in the hydration, with the decrease in the hydration, what happens? Size of the hydrated ion decreases. So hydrogen energy as well as size will decreases. It will be most hydrated and most energy will be released for lithium. Are you getting this? Lithium is the having highest hydration energy among the alkali metals. Now, next question comes, metallic luster of sodium is explained by. Generally, metals are lustrous or shiny in nature. This shininess of the metals are called metallic luster. What is the reason for the metallic luster is asking? Diffusion of variable ions? No. Oscillation of loose electrons. Generally, oscillation of loose electrons is the reason for the metallic luster of the elements or metals. When they are having electrons in the valence shell which are loosely held, on exposure to light, what happens? These electrons gets excited to the higher energy level, and when they fall back to the lower energy level, doing that they emits the radiation. This emission of radiation by the electron is actually cause of the shininess or lustrous nature of the metals. Right? The answer will be oscillation. Extraction of free protons or not, existence of body center QP. These are all. This will be the correct answer for this particular question. Now, the metal with the lowest melting point is, generally here also the question will be alkali metals. From lithium to cesium, melting point decreases. Why decreases? Because metallic bond strength decreases. Metallic bond strength decreases due to increase in atomic size. Due to the increase in the atomic size, what happens? Metallic bond strength decreases. Due to the decrease in the metallic bond strength, melting point decreases. The highest melting point is observed for the lithium and lowest melting point is observed for cesium. So your answer will be cesium. Right? What is it? Comes to question. Most widely occurring alkali metals. It is a question about the natural abundance of alkali metals. Among the alkali metals, sodium is the most abundant, followed by the potassium. Here we have a question about the most abundant. Most abundant will be sodium. Right? It's a direct question. What is meant by most abundant? The element which is available in the earth crust to the maximum extent in their relative percentages. Which of the following has a polarizing power close to the magnesium? He has given the asking the polarizing power. What is meant by polarizing power? Polarizing power means the ability of a cation to deform the electron cloud of anion. The tendency of a cation to deform the electron cloud of anion will be called as polarizing power. And since there is a diagonal relationship between magnesium and lithium, the polarizing power of lithium will be equal to the magnesium due to the same size, same electron negativity and same charge to size ratio. These two properties, the properties of magnesium and lithium are similar. So the polarizing power of lithium will be similar to that of magnesium. Now the alkali metal needed for the growth of the plants is asking which of the following alkali metal is actually essential for the plant growth. Potassium is one of the important element of the first group, which is most widely occurs in the plants. It is an essential component of plants. Which of the following forms nitride very easily? Nitride. What is meant by nitride? Suppose if you are treating alkali metals with atmospheric nitrogen on strongly heating, it forms this particular compound. This is called metal nitride. Alkali metal nitride we call this. Generally here you have to take 6 moles so that you will get 2 moles of it. Among the alkali metals, lithium is the only metal which can directly combine with the nitrogen on heating strongly. It forms lithium nitride. What do you call this? Lithium nitride potash. So your answer is lithium. Rest of them cannot form nitrides. Which of the following undergo decomposition on heating? Which of the following undergo? Generally, we know that it's a question from the carbonates of alkali metals. From lithium carbonate, that means which of the following is less stable is asked. From lithium carbonate to cesium carbonate, what happens? Thermal stability increases. Thermal stability increases. What is meant by thermal stability? The temperature where they decompose. That means what? On heating, lithium will decompose at low temperature. That means we say this is thermally less stable. But whereas cesium will decompose at a very high temperature. Actually, the decomposition temperature will be very high. So, what we can say, on heating, this lithium carbonate easily undergo decomposition because since it is thermally less stable. Which of the following has no existence in solid state? This is also an important exception of alkali metals, alkali metal bicarbonates. Among the alkali metal bicarbonates, remember that this lithium hydrogen carbonate only exists in solution or in aqueous state. It does not exist in solid state. There is no solid state existence for this. Remaining all will exist in solid state as well as aqueous state. It's an important exception. Lithium hydrogen carbonate do not exist in solid state. Solubility of salt in water depends on, generally, solubility of any salt depends on what aspects is asked. The aspects are only hydration energy, only lattice energy, both lattice energy and hydration energy. Solubility of salt depends upon both the lattice energy and hydration energy. What is meant by lattice energy? This is the amount of energy released when 1 mole of crystal lattice is formed from gaseous ions. And what is hydration energy? When 1 mole of salt is dissolved in water, the amount of energy released will be called as hydration energy. Generally, what is the condition for a salt to be soluble in water? Its hydration energy should be greater than the lattice energy, then it will be soluble. If it is in the reverse manner, it will be insoluble. This is a required condition. So, both the factor will influence the solubility of salt in water, both lattice energy as well as hydration energy. Molten NaCl conduct electricity due to the presence of. What is meant by molten NaCl? Generally, at room temperature, NaCl will be in solid state. When you start heating, when it reaches its melting point, it sort melts and you get the liquid NaCl. This liquid NaCl is called as molten NaCl, fused NaCl or molten NaCl. In the solid state, generally NaCl will be insulator, it does not conduct any electricity because of absence of free ions. As soon as it converts into the molten state, there will be free. In molten NaCl, what happens? There will be free Na and Cl minus ion. Because of the presence of these free ions, it will conduct the electricity. So, what will be the answer for this? Free ions, availability of the free ions. Now, the next question is that sodium burns in excess of air to give mainly. Whenever you are heating sodium in excess of air, it forms sodium peroxide. When you are heating it in limited, when it is excess, if you are heating it in limited, it forms Na2. This is sodium monoxide. This is monoxide which absorbs this is peroxide. So, as it is given excess, what you will get? You will get the sodium peroxide. Yeah. The formula of the product formed when sodium bonds in carbon dioxide gas is asking when sodium burns in carbon dioxide. When solid sodium is heated with carbon dioxide, basically it forms sodium carbonate plus sodium oxide plus carbonate will form. Take a balanced equation for that module. Here you will get that means you have to take here 4 moles so that you will get 2 moles of this and 1 mole of carbon. And this sodium oxide form will combine with carbon dioxide to form Na2CO3. So what are the two substances you will get here? You will get the carbon along with the formation of sodium carbonate. So your answer will be the second. Sodium carbonate and carbon will be obtained. Hope this clear. A solution of sodium in liquid ammonia is a strong reducing agent. This is due to generally alkali metals are soluble in liquid ammonia, and the solution of alkali metal in liquid ammonia will be reducing in nature because of the presence of free electron. Whether it is due to the solvated ion or due to the solvated electrons, because due to the solvated electrons it will be strongly reducing in nature. Right? Generally, what happens if alkali metal sodium is dissolved in X plus Y moles of ammonia? What happens? It forms Na3 taken X times plus positive plus what it will form? Taken Y times plus this is amminated electron. This is amminated sodium complex. Because of this amminated electrons or solvated electrons, they are strongly reducing in nature. Let's make the completion of level 1 question of alkali metals. There are level 2 questions. Which of the following statement is false for alkali metals? As given some statements for the alkali metals. Lithium is the strongest reducing agent in aqueous medium. Yeah, this is a correct statement. Among the alkali metals, lithium is the strongest reducing agent because of its highest hydration index. Alkali metals gives blue color in solution of liquid ammonia. This is also correct. When alkali metals are dissolved in liquid ammonia, they forms a blue color solution. Just now we have seen due to the formation of aminated metal ions as well as aminated electrons, the solution will be blue in color. And sodium is an amphoteric in nature. This is actually wrong. Sodium is basic in nature. It does not form amphoteric oxide. What is meant by amphoteric? When an element is able to react with both acids and bases, we call it as amphoteric in nature. But sodium cannot react with bases. It can only react with acids. Since we can say its nature is not amphoteric, its nature will be basic in nature. So that only it is able to react with only acids, not bases. This is the false statement. Which of the following exists as hydrated salt? We have already seen this question. Generally, lithium halides are, because of the smaller size of the lithium, they will be hydrated. Lithium chloride generally exists in the form of LiCl2 plus 2H2. As the size of the metal ion increases, so effective nuclear charge decreases, so for the tendency of to be existing as hydrated salt decreases. So among the first two, lithium is having the highest tendency to be exist as a hydrated salts. Which of the following will have largest size in water? Is asking the size in the water. There are two aspects. Suppose if you are talking about the size in water, generally they undergo hydration. So the size decreases. Lithium aqueous will be larger than what is this? Sodium aqueous followed by potassium aqueous followed by rubidium aqueous followed by cesium aqueous. This is in aqueous state. Or otherwise, if you are talking in generally in out of aqueous state or generally in their free state, this will be the increasing order. This is in aqueous state. This is in general. So what happens? The size will become reverse. Why? In water, what happens? It exists as a hydrated ion. Smaller the size of the metal, larger will be the size of hydrated ion. From lithium to cesium, the size of hydrated ion decreases, so that the largest hydrated ion of alkali metal in the water will be lithium. This is an important point to be remembered. Question can also be which is the smallest hydrated ion in the alkali metal. So that will be Cg. What is the next question? Peroxide of alkali metals react with water to give. Generally, what is the general formula of peroxides of alkali metals? They will form M2O2 type of peroxide. These are on hydrolysis with water. They will form 2 moles of metal hydroxide plus H2O they will form. For that you need to take 2 moles of water, so that what they will form? They will form metal hydroxide plus hydrogen peroxide they will form. So what is the answer? They will form hydrogen peroxide. This is the hydrolysis pattern of peroxides of calculators. You can take for example sodium peroxide. You can take, this is a reaction with 2 moles of H2O. It forms 2 moles of NaOH plus hydrogen peroxide. Then comes our next question. Which of the following is not a chloride mineral? He has given some names of minerals. Rock salt is actually sodium chloride. Silvite is potassium chloride. Carnallite is actually KCl, it's a double salt, NaCl 6H2O. And what is fluoroscope? It is calcium fluoride. So what is the question? Which of the following is not a chloride? First three are chloride: sodium chloride, potassium chloride, calcium chloride, magnesium chloride. This is fluoride. So this is actually the answer. Fluoroscope is actually a fluoride, not chloride. Molecular formula of Glauber salt. This is an important direct question. This particular sodium sulfate decahydrate is called as Glauber salt. It's a common name of the mineral. Right? So direct question of such as generally as we consider Na2CO3 10H2 as washing soda, this Na2SO4 10H2 is called as Glauber salt. So one of the sulfate of the sodium. Pearl ash. Pearl ash is nothing but this is sodium carbonate. Sorry, potassium carbonate is called as pearl ash. When you burn these pearls, they are rich in potassium. On burning, they will form corresponding potassium oxide. This potassium oxide on absorption of carbon dioxide will form potassium carbonate. Because of that reason, this particular potassium carbonate is called as pearl ash. When sodium metal extracted with acetylene, the product formed is acetylene is nothing but H2C2 is called as acetylene. Acetylene or ethane. When you are treating this with sodium, it forms Na2C2 liberates H2. This is we call sodium acetylene. So what it will form? Na2C2 it will form. Here comes the next question. Aqueous solution of Na2CO3 is acidic, basic, neutral or none. Basically, see, when you are dissolving this Na2CO3 in water, generally what it forms, you see, it forms NaOH plus H2CO3. I take 2 moles. Here you get 2 moles of this and 1 mole of carbonic acid. See, this is weak acid. Weak acid. And this is strong base. So, what will be the nature of the solution? Or otherwise, you can also say this carbonic acid undergo hydrolysis to form. What it forms? It forms carbonic acid plus 2 OH minus. So, because of this strong basic nature, the solution will be basic nature. So, what will be the nature? Aqueous solution of sodium carbonate will be basic. Since it forms a strong base and weak acid, so the net nature of the solution will be basic nature. The correct order of increasing solubility. He has given the carbonates, hydrogen carbonate, sodium hydrogen carbonate, potassium hydrogen carbonate, magnesium bicarbonate, calcium bicarbonate. He is asking the increasing order of solubility. See, basically, these two are from first group, and these two are from second group. Now, as we know, from first group to the second group, what happens? Size decreases. With decrease in the size, what happens? With the decrease in size, what happens? The hydration energy increases. So, with increase in hydration energy, what happens? So, generally, here, from they are actually given the correct order of increasing order of the solubility will be this one. There is sodium hydrogen carbonate less soluble, potassium hydrogen carbonate followed by magnesium hydrogen carbonate. Generally, what happens from left to right with increase in the size of the ion? With increase in the size of the ion, what happens? Their lattice energy decreases. Because of the decrease in the lattice energy, what happens? Solubility increases. Both the lattice energy and hydrogen energy both will decrease, but decrease in the lattice energy will be more when compared with the hydrogen energy. So that their solubility increases from sodium hydrogen carbonate to calcium hydrogen carbonate. Let's make the completion of level 2 questions. Let's move to the level 2. Identify the false statement. Lithium iodide is more covalent than lithium fluoride. This is the correct statement. Why? See. Lithium is having strong polarizing power. Being iodine is more bulkier in size. So what happens? Extent of polarization will be more. If the extent of polarization is more, extent of covalent character will be more. If this is according to the Fossan's rule, it will be correct statement. Sodium burnt in excess of oxygen gives. This is actually the wrong statement. See, sodium burnt in excess of oxygen, it has to give sodium peroxide, not sodium monoxide. This is a wrong statement. Let us see the other two statements also. Metallic sodium is used for the drying of ether but not ethanol. This is also true. If it is treated with ethanol, it will form a compound. It will not rather than absorbing water. The softness of group A metals increases down the road. This is also true statement, and this is the wrong statement. Sodium when burnt in excess of oxygen, it should form peroxide rather than monoxide. The oxidation state of sodium in sodium ammonia. See, generally, sodium, this is an alloy of sodium and magnesium, which is called as amalgam. What we call it as sodium amalgam. So here in this case, oxidation state of both of them will be 0. They are not compounds, they are alloys, mixture of two metals. So they will be in 0 oxidation state. When sodium reacts with excess of oxygen, oxidation number changes from. See, whenever you are treating sodium with excess of oxygen, what happens? It forms Na2O2. So what is the oxidation state of oxygen before this? 0. And what is oxidation state here? This will be -2. If two oxygen together exhibiting -2, one oxygen will exhibit -1. So oxidation state is changing from 0 to -1. From where to where it is changing? If you are talking with respect to one oxygen atom, right? The solubility of alkali metal hydroxides follow the order. Solubility of alkali metal hydroxide generally increases down the road, because generally what happens? Hydration energy increases. Generally decrease in hydration energy will be less when you compare with the decrease in lattice energy, so that net hydration energy will be more than the lattice energy, so that the from lithium hydroxide to cesium hydroxide, what happens? Solubility increases. The reaction of metal plus oxygen is superoxide. The metal is here. He has given an equation. He has to identify. Generally, we know that lithium does not form superoxides or peroxide. What is meant by superoxide? Superoxide means O2 minus is called as superoxide. O minus 2 is called as oxide. O2 minus 2 is called peroxide, and this is called superoxide. So generally we know that lithium forms only monoxide. It cannot form peroxide and superoxide. So that lithium can't be metal of MEF, and sodium cannot form superoxide. It forms only peroxide, and potassium can form. Barium cannot divide. BaO2 is called as peroxide, not superoxide. Why? Here beryllium is +2, oxygen is -2. So this is the peroxide, not superoxide. So your answer will be potassium. Would you see how we are concluding to the potassium? Let's go to the next question. Alkali metal nitrates which produces nitrogen dioxide and oxygen on heating is. Generally, See, when you are lithium nitrate when it is heated, it produces lithium oxide plus oxygen, nitrogen gas plus oxygen. If you want a balanced reaction, take 4 moles, so you get 2 moles of this and 4 moles of this. So, whereas other metal nitrates will produce nitrite plus O2 they will produce. Suppose if I take 2 moles, you get 2 moles here. So here N stands for sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, etc. So what will be the answer? Lithium nitrate is the answer. This is also an anomalar property of lithium. As we know that every first element of the group will exhibit some of the different properties than the rest of the elements, which is called as anomalar behavior. Which of the following is the best carbon dioxide absorber as well as a source of O2 in space capsules? Space capsule in the sense, generally the space vehicles are in submarines as well as in underground metro stations, railway stations, such as. Generally there will be lot of oxygen as well as carbon dioxide concentration will be low. But when this potassium superoxide is it will be converted into J2CO3 plus O2 will be released. It absorbs the carbon dioxide gas, along with the liberation of oxygen gas. So your answer will be potassium superoxide. The correct order of solubility of hydrates of alkali metals. The correct order of solubility of hydrates of alkali metals. So from lithium hydrate to rubidium hydrate, solubility decreases. So this is the correct order. This is the trend of solubility of hydrates of alkali metals. So direct question, you need to remove the trend from lithium to cesium hydrate, solubility decreases. The correct order of mobility of alkali metals in aqueous solutions is asking about the mobility of alkali metals in aqueous solution. Generally what happens, from lithium plus aqueous to cesium plus aqueous, the size of hydrated ion decreases. If the size decreases, what happens to the mobility from lithium aqueous to cesium plus aqueous? Mobility increases or decreases? Mobility should increase. So what will be the correct order? So the order will be rubidium followed by potassium, sodium and lithium, as cesium is not included. Generally from lithium to rubidium hydrated ions, mobility increases, right? So this is the correct order regarding mobility. As the size decreases, mobility increases. Comes the next question. The correct decreasing order of covalent character of lithium chloride, lithium bromide and lithium hydride. See, generally whenever you are talking about the covalent nature of lithium halides, your lithium will be same. Suppose this can be, next can be your anything, fluoride or chloride or bromide or iodide. So what changes here? This halide plus being same, X minus changes. Now this covalent character of lithium halides is directly proportional to size of X minus. So what happens, left to right X minus increases. So that what happens, covalent character from lithium fluoride to lithium iodide. As option is not given fluoride, we will go for only lithium chloride to lithium bromide and lithium iodide. What happens? Covalent character increases. So he has given a decreasing order. So what will be the decreasing order? Larger the size, greater will be the polarization. Greater the polarization, higher will be the covalent character. This is according to the Poisson's rules. So comes the next question. The violet flame is shown by potassium in Bunsen flame is due to the jumping of the electron flame. Generally, all the alkali metals exhibit a specific color on heating in Bunsen's flame. because of the excitation of electrons, excitation and de-excitation of electron. In case of potassium, the color is found to be violet. He is asking which transaction is responsible for this color. Generally, potassium's electronic configuration is R1 4s1. When you are heating this, what happens? This electron from 4s will excite to 5s or 5p, anything, fifth orbital. Let us assume this is fifth orbital. It can be 5s or 5p. Let us take it as 1/5. When it again comes back from fifth energy level to the fourth energy level, it will emit the radiation. This frequency falls in visible region. Because of this region only, it appears to be violet in color. So, what is the responsible factor? It has to be the higher energy level. The fourth is actually valence. Higher than 4 means 5th to 6th is decimal. So among the given option, this cannot be considered because 4p, it has to go to the next level. 4p will be the same level. Here also this is not possible, 1s and 5p. Your correct answer will be 4. 5p to 4s. Hope this is clear. Sodium reacts with water more vigorously than lithium because generally lithium to cesium reactivity increases towards water due to the increase in electropositive nature. Why? Electropositive nature or metallic nature decreases. So what will be the reason? Due to its more electropositive nature. As sodium is more electropositive than lithium, its reactivity towards water will be vigorous or explosive in nature. Select the correct statement. Lithium carbonate is more soluble in water. Potassium carbonate is soluble in water. Barium carbonate is soluble in water. Bicarbonate of lithium is insoluble in water. He is asking us to say, among the given, potassium carbonate is soluble in water and other options are incorrect. Lithium carbonate is soluble in water, it is actually sparingly soluble, or we can say insoluble. Barium carbonate is actually insoluble in water. Bicarbonate of lithium is soluble in water. So this is only the correct statement. The remaining questions will continue in the next class. That's all for today. Thank you.